Hello, I'm Tony from PhotoZ Blog, and today I want to show you the home studio and how you can actually reclaim some space in your little studio space. So I'm in a small bedroom. This is 11 foot by 12 foot, so an average size little bedroom. If you're working in a living room, in a dining room, and you're always looking for more space, I'm going to show you a way you can kind of reclaim that space. Some of the problems I found that I wanted to conquer was how to reclaim the perimeter of a room. If you look at most of your stands, you're about from the center point to the wall about a foot out, whether that be on your camera, if it's on your stands for a background, I'm losing about a foot of space. And especially with the light stands, you're always going to be at least a foot off. If you're moving your light stand into a corner and you need that corner space, you're losing about 2 feet because of the leg of the light stand. So I've kind of come up with a way to maximize the space, allow you to reclaim a lot of space. This usable room is probably about 9 feet by 10 feet based on those stands and how close I can get them to the wall. So I want to get that 11 to 12 foot range back in play. So this is going to be a setup that's going to be easy to do. A little bit of cost, but well worth it, considering you don't have to knock out a wall just to gain a foot or two back. One of the things I also want to talk about is also maneuverability. You know, stands can be a little bit troublesome if you're in a room with a table. Say I've got a shooting table I'm working with, the light stands can bump into those, makes it a little difficult. Also with the boom arm, these are awkward to kind of get in position. And so if you don't have it sandbagged and everything, this can tip over easy. I had that actually happen earlier, lost a modeling lamp. Luckily that was the most damage that I had with that. But I'm going to do a little bit better setup with that. Something that's more stable and more versatile, which I can have a lot more control over with this new setup I'm going to show you. So what we're going to do is essentially, this is what I'm going to use as my foundation. So this is going to take place of my light stands, tripods and such. And what this is a cargo support. They use it, you can use it across the bed of your pickup in order to support cargo so it doesn't slide around. But also they use it in construction to basically put up plastic sheeting for remodeling so dust doesn't blow into other areas and stuff. And it actually expands out to about 9.5 feet, 114 inches. So, but what you want to do is you tighten these up and then you can grip it right into your ceiling, and it's pretty stable. If you're doing this, just don't over crank it, because if you're not hitting a stud, you're liable to pop through your ceiling, and I can't be held responsible for that. So you just got to be careful with them, but they are pretty stable. They flex, but they're not going anywhere, and they can hold the weight. And I've been using them for a little bit, and I'm really happy with the outcome. How I'm getting my lights mounted on there, essentially, I'm using super clamps. These are great, Monfrado makes them. They're about $35. If you go about I'll have links for it, but I found them for 20 bucks. Not quite as good as, the Monfrados, are a little bit less expensive, but they are still solid. They're not plastic or anything. They're all die-cast metal, so I'm pretty happy with them for 20 bucks, and then free shipping there. If you get more than one. And then I'm using these umbrella clamps as a kind of an elbow to offset my lights on here. So, and then anything you put in here, you want to just make sure these are clamped down tight so nothing shifts on you. And once they are, everything becomes stable. So really easy setup. I'm just going to turn this a little bit, and then that way I can sit here, take my lights. I got some alien bees here. Up there, come here, and it just drops on right on to that. So, and if you want to see the back side of that, I can flip that around. So it's just coming here. This, offers the offset, which is nice. Oops. So generally I have it going the other way, so I don't have screws bumping, but essentially I have access to everything back here. I can adjust it up and down, bring this up and down on the pole, so, and then twist. So I've got maneuverability in this. So, you know, it works out really great. So I'm gonna do a breakdown of the studio, breakdown of all the different gear I have in here, the backdrop, the stands, the tripods, and kind of show you the new setup, which kind of opens up the space, and the new boom setup that I'm gonna put up. So just kind of hang out, watch for a second. I'm gonna hopefully have this on just a time lapse of me breaking things down. If it doesn't work, then I just jump over to the next section. But anyway, check this out. Okay, here it is. Now what I've done is I've actually got everything set up. I've got my support stanchions in. Did it for my camera unit and my computer using a Manfrotto double arm, so that got that stuff up out of the way. I've got all my heads basically on separate stands, and I've got this basically boom setup. You might have a hard time seeing it, so let me move this one out of the way here. Over here. Easy to move, you just pop it and slide it around. But essentially what I did, you know, it's up to you if you want to do it this way, but I took my boom arm and actually used that as a cross beam, and it allowed me to put my head up here so I can tilt it, shift it around real easy, go back and forth, manipulate it how I need it. I can bring that whole bar down. If I put a big softbox here, if I'm doing tabletop, you know, photography, I can bring a softbox straight down on top of it and have it perfectly flat. Kind of hard to do with the boom arm. You got to do a lot of finagling, and then it's hard to get these units up to the side. So if I have a table, I can bring them in close. Also, I could put these heads right onto these posts and have this bar come down, so I could even get away with two less stanchions here. But I kind of like the versatility of having that many. I'm actually using about, let's see, 6, 7 total. I've got another magic arm that I've got on order, because I'm going to basically make the setup so I can do that also for my backdrop here, because I've got some cloth backdrops, but a lot of times I use this vinyl white one, which is what I like to use, but that will give me more versatility. So, you know, essentially, depending on how many heads you have, how many, if you have a background, or if you want to do a setup like this, will kind of determine how many magic, or not magic arms, but super clamps you need, and how many stanchions you need. If you want to do the camera setup like I have here, essentially I have a Manfrotto double bar there. I'll show that on my site. I've got a, you know, just a standard tripod pan head, and I've got this base plate for holding a computer. I do tethered, so it gets me up close to the wall if I need to. I can make adjustments here, or I can pull it off and shoot as I need, and I still have my laptop there with showing me what I'm doing. So, you know, it creates a lot of versatility. I can move that whole thing and all these really simply, and I've created a lot of floor space here. So I'm not tripping over things, and it makes it really easy to work in here. And it's really nice because I'm doing more with, you know, headshots and stuff like that for, or 2/3 shots for portraits and stuff, and I'm able to do that in the space now. It was challenging before just because of the lack of room and such. But, you know, it's a quick, easy, dirty way to basically clean up space and get your stuff right back to the wall. I'm about 2 inches from the wall where I was 12 inches before. So, I mean, I'm like right there, which is nice. So I've really kind of taken advantage of the space and really got to expand my space in a lot of ways. And this would be really great if you're converting your dining room setup in order to photograph in a little room space. This will offer a lot more options and a lot more versatility, I think, than your standard tripods and light stands. The one thing is these stanchions are basically 114 inches tall, 9.5 feet. So if you have ceilings that are taller than that or vaulted ceilings, this may not be an option for you. But if you have flat roofs, flat ceilings like I do, it works great. And if you have 8.5, you're not, stretching it to the limits. If you have 8-foot ceilings, you're not stretching it to the limits. So this is Tony from PhotoZ Blog. I hope this will help you get a little bit more space out of your studio. And I hope if you have any questions, you'll just drop them on the blog and let me know. Thank you.